Hello guys, this is Pedram Raufi from Gerchik Co and we are going to have a review of the markets for this week's midterm traders and of course intraday traders as well. We're going to check the situation on the stock market of the United States and maybe go through some news which are related to the stock market and some predictions about it. And we're going to check the situation in the Forex market, most popular and famous ones with which most of traders are trading nowadays. We are going to actually check all of them technically and as well fundamentally by the chart and by the news. What we have, we are going to just check it all. We are going to find out what we can do with different type of assets as well, like gold, oil, and gas as well. So at the end of the program, we're going to check the situation with the cryptocurrency market, which is under some suspicions. And we actually have to find out what we can do with Bitcoin and Ethereum, the most popular ones. We're going to check the technical situation on the charts and maybe some news about them as well, because there is already some predictions about the price action of Ethereum and Bitcoin in the near future. So we have to check all of this information. As we already see, the stock market of the United States from previous week, from the end of previous week and this week was kind of green and was kind of happy for buyers, for bulls, and the main reason was related to the moment when we had to have some correction. And today the situation on the stock market is a little bit unsure. We have a consolidation here on S&P 500, the main index of the United States stock market, and we just want to know what would go happen. Before, for example, 2 weeks before, 3 weeks earlier, we actually told you that there is a prediction of the correctional movement and the start of some reversal after the test of $4,000 on the S&P 500 chart, and that's what happened actually. But what about now? The situation is kind of unsure, and we just need to know what we can do with this situation. There's a really great news about the maybe United States economy first, which is related to the latest Biden administration speech, which was about the trade with China. It seems that they are going to make less taxes on Chinese goods, on Chinese import. China, of course, knows it. China knows it that the main economic partner of China in the world could be just one country, and this country is United States. Of course, European Union as well, but European Union is under the really high pressure of the war impacts in Ukraine, which are making Europe to, by the sanctions against Russia, make his own economy work worse as well. So we have the energy crisis, problem with gas, and the boycotts on Russia exports of gas and oil. So here, the only partner of China would be United States, and China actually knows it. China knows it that there is no country that could help China to start rise again, and this would actually help Biden as well, because economically Biden at the first months of its own authority, of its own power, when he started to become a power in the United States, a little bit it kind of disappointed economists, because he continued to approve different type of economic stimulus, which caused today's inflation of dollar. But the situation is going to be better. I actually believe in this. Believe in the United States stock market. Some people, some analysts are not so sure, but believe me, there's a really, really high accumulative, powerful propaganda against the United States stock market, which is related to Russians. And that's all about that the United States stock market is going to leave another crisis, and etc. and etc. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because China is not going to let it be like that. China is not going to let Russia be like that. And as you know, there is a really great connection now between United States and China, which is going to grow. And because of that, Goldman Sachs actually says that the price of yuan, the Chinese currency, is going to rise in the near future. In the case of some Chinese import tariffs cutting by United States, which is a really good news for Chinese economy, which is really good news for the United States stock market as well. We don't have to forget about it. And let's be a little bit pro trading now, because we had the news. We actually talked with you about different type of news, and we talked with you about the impact of war. We talked with you about the situation which is going on now. I think that you all know it. We actually can check our predictions, previous predictions, and previous news analysis as well during previous programs which you had. And actually, the whole trend is kind of already, we actually spoke about it. The whole trend is kind of already visible. What would go on the S&P 500 in the near future? There is some suspicion that prices are going to fall, but we won't forget that there is the real highly probable predictions, I think from Goldman Sachs as well, about the next rise of the stock market price, because there is some potential of stock market rising in the near future. There is different reasons, but as we know, for now, for today, for midterm investors, S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, the main American stock indexes are going to be under the pressure. That's a factor. They are going to be under the pressure, and at least they are going to make some upward movements in the corridors, in some downward channels, which is actually obvious here as well. But we don't forget that we told you that there would be a probability of a reversal near to the level of $4,000, and actually it happened. So we waited for it. It happened. We actually predicted it about from 2 or 3 weeks ago, that there would be a reversal after the test of 4,000. But would it continue or not? I think there is nowadays in the market really good reasons for it to further rise. I mean about the S&P 500, I mean about Nasdaq, and of course Dow Jones as well. So let's just check the other indexes, the industrial index of the United States stock market, which is as well showing us that this consolidation is real, is happening, and we have a mirror level nearby. So there is a mirror level. We are getting stuck to it. We are getting pushed to it. And actually here there is still a probability of some impulsive upward movements in the near future. Let's see what's going on with the main high-tech index of the United States stock market, which is as well consolidating. And it's around the psychological level of 13,000, which is a really important level, which could be the which could be the mirror level after the test of which prices are going to again reverse. But these consolidations could really cause prices to speculatively retest this local maximum. So the only thing that now for now we're waiting for is next speculative upward movement of the prices on one hand. On the other hand, there's a dollar problem which we have now, which we are going to check actually, a United States dollar index. So if you remember from previous time, we told you that United States dollar is going to make some reversal. It's going to make a reversal, and this reversal actually happened. So we told you from previous times that here we have on the 4-hour chart, actually we checked the situation. I told you that here we have some reversal signals, and it happened. And that's actually the reversal which caused the reversal on the stock market as well, which was the opposite on the opposite side. what we have now for dollar index, it's really near to 100. It haven't fell to 100 because, as you remember, we told you that prices are not going to reach 100. They're going to just retest the local levels near to 100, but there is still a probability in near future of the retest of 100 as well. It's going to get retested. Here we have some shrinking of volatility, which is really, really obvious. So here I'm not looking for any kind of upward impulses. Here, mostly I believe that prices could really make some downward impulses and retest 100 even, 101, 100. So that situation with the dollar, and the main problem with dollar is that dollar have a dollar has a opposite correlation with oil prices, not only with stock market. Okay, so oil prices nowadays is rising, but it could make some corrections. There's the only reason because of which the dollar could kind of continue the consolidation around the top of the market. So the main idea from previous month was about the reversal. We were talking to you about the reversal, about this reversal which have happened already. So from previous 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago, I actually told you different times that this reversal was going to happen, and this reversal happens. And the main idea is the continuation of this reversal, but we need really different type of factors for it to happen. So if really the trade situation between the United States and China goes well, and there is a real reasons why it actually this situation, why it has to be solved because of Biden's administration, they're Democrats, because of war on Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, and because of these reasons, there is no other alternative scenario which actually could happen for the markets. And now we are actually watching the game how it's going to change. So this game is going to change. Russia is going to get closed like North Korea. China is going to rise. Dragon will rise as well. So while the United States helping China, of course, different type of political party of the United States and Britain would be against it, but you just need to know that war situation between Ukraine and Russia is not going to get solved in the near future. And that's the only factor that makes Republicans, conservative parties to just not to get into the situation. So most of them, they're anti-war. They need trades with Russia. They don't need powerful China. You know that Republicans, conservative parties of Europe, they don't really need strengthful China. But because of Ukraine, that's the thing that's going to happen. And it was planned like this. So about the Yuan, about Chinese economy, we could be more sure. About dollar prices rising, cannot really be that sure. Even even due to the interest rate hiking, due to the monetary policy of Federal Reserve System. Despite all of these factors, there is other ways how we can fight inflation in the United States. So situation with job market as well, we have to pay attention on it. I'm gonna actually check now the economy calendar. So maybe we are going to have some job releases of job market, some releases from job market on which we could actually pay attention. So today is Wednesday, Odin's Day, and we are going to check the situation here. So today at 2:30 by GMT, by Greenwich time, there's a crude oil inventories which is going to get out, and this release is showing us that due to predictions, we are going to have more oil than before. So that's a good news for oil prices or not? Of course not. That's not a really good news for oil prices. But this won't happen in other case. So we could get not that much of production rising, but less. And this won't really make oil prices to fall that much. Oil prices kind of now impulsively rising, and it's getting ready for some correctional movement anyway, which would make dollar prices to rise a little bit during today's American session. But you have to pay attention that that's the speculation. That's the intraday speculation. You don't have to make it that big, okay? And tomorrow, Thursday, we have some releases from the European Central Bank. Nothing is going to change there. Nothing is going to change. Initial jobs claims from United States. So that's really not a good news for Federal Reserve System to tighten monetary policy. I mean, initial jobs claims every week during previous 2 months or 1 month showed us that we have some downward trend, that we have some downward trend in job market, that initial jobless claims are kind of rising a little bit, and in the nearest weeks, these releases could make Federal Reserve System to not to hike monetary policy, to not to hike interest rates or tighten the monetary policy that much that they want. And that's a really good news for stock market actually. So on a Friday, United States core CPI, consumer prices index, which is falling as well. That's not a good news for dollar anyway. Canadian dollar employment changes. That's good for Canadian dollar. But Canadian dollar is going to be powerful only because of oil prices rising, the main reason. And here economic releases as well, they are not bad. So for Canadian dollar, we can say that maybe we have some chances for the continuation of this movement of the Canadian dollar. But don't forget, today, during today's day, we have a probability of dollar prices impulsive, speculative upward movement, upward jump. This could be some upward bullish jump in dollar prices on which you have to pay attention. So this would make S&P 500, this would make your European currency, this would make British currency to kind of retest the bottom, retest the local minimums. But in the midterm, tendency is going to be the same. So the main phase of the continuation of this reversal is not going to really change in the near future. Let's see what's going on with the euro, pound, Australian dollar, and New Zealand dollar. Then you're going to see what's going on with oil prices, gold prices, maybe some assets which are related to oil and gold, as Japanese yen, Swiss franc, as Canadian dollar, and etc. So euro USD. Just to be sure, here we have a really great retest, great situational consolidation, impulsive retest of local maximums. This is going to be the reason, the signal of the continuation of this consolidational movement for near future. So we cannot really believe that prices of euro are going to rise that much. They could rise above 1.80, then strengthen above it, maybe retest it from upward, and this would be good news. But the shrinking of amplitude, the shrinking volatility above 1.080, that's not really good news in the near future. So we have to pay attention here for euro in the nearest future, in nearest hours. We have the probability of the local resistance of 1.080 to be retested impulsively with one speculation. But after that, we are mostly going to have a reversal or the shrinking of volatility, which won't let you trade well during the session. Pound to United States dollar. Let's see what is going on with pound. So pound to United States dollar. There is some pressure on pound, which is not that bad, but I think that here we have a mirror level. Here we have some local supports which are going to get retested anyway. 1.24 is going to get retested. We don't actually have to not to believe in it. But after the retest of 1.24, we have the continuation of this upward movement. So pound is actually showing us how the situation is really now for United States dollar. United States dollar getting weak and technically we have the signal on the charts. Australian dollar and Australian dollar and United States dollar. Let's see what is going on with these two guys. Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, they are more powerful, they are more strength than euro or pound, only because they're kind of related to oil prices. But they have a straight correlation with oil prices, which would make them rise as well during oil is rising. Not only Canadian dollar, but Australian dollar as well. So, too many messages. 0.72, 0.78, there were levels which have been retested. Prices have been strengthened above them, and we had the strengthen from previous time, strengthening above a psychological level of 0.7. So I thought that the strengthening above this level is going to be a really good signal for next upward move, for the continuation of the upward movement. But you have to actually pay attention. The movement is really moderate. The trend is really moderate, and now for today. Actually, if you remember from yesterday, we had the retest of the local resistance. It made prices to a little bit make some correction. It made prices to kind of stop for a moment, but we had actually a signal of reversal. But for now, we don't have any kind of signals for reversal. Okay, we don't have any kind of signals that show us the prices are going to fall that much. We have a consolidation. That's the first reason why we are going to have the next jump of movement, jump of prices, but this jump is going to be bearish. This jump, this speculative movement, this speculative impulse is going to make prices to retest 0.71, 0.70 maybe. I don't believe in that. I believe that 0.71, 0.74, I'm sorry, 0.71, 0.70, 50. That's a range which could get retested, but not 0.70. So after this kind of movements, we could be more sure about the next strengthening of prices. And prices could actually remain in some consolidational movement just only because stock market is consolidating. Dollar have some chances yet to rise. And oil prices is actually retesting the local maximums. Oil prices is actually speculatively rising now. And that's the only reason why United States dollar has a really great chance to rise a little bit, and this upward movement could continue for it. So the consolidation on Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, this could really happen. This could really continue. So next comes the energy market, which is kind of rising previously. Gas, of course, oil rising really moderately. 120 have been retested, as JP Morgan told us that 120 is going to get retested. We are going to have the retest of 120. So they actually had this prediction from previous times. Previously, from previous 2 weeks ago, we were retesting a psychological level of 100. I told you that this retest is going to make prices to rise further. So we had the rise. This rising was a kind of moderate rise, but it happened. Now it's continuing because we had the fundamental reasons for it. This signal is not a really good signal. We have a retest of local maximum. Here we have to kind of fall a little bit, but let's say 116, 118 are the ranges after the retest of which we are going to face next reversal on the continuation of upward movement. So 100, let's say 16 and 118 are the main range after the retest of which prices are going to show us. Are they going to start to rise again, or they kind of want to get a little bit deeper and make some consolidational corridor and make some horizontal movement, and then within some weeks start to rise again. So the main range 116, 118. You have to wait for the retest of this range. It's going to happen. It's going to happen in the near future. And the gas prices, as you know, war is continuing, energy crisis continuing, and gas prices have retested the 9.50. We actually told you that prices are going to retest $10 as well, but it hasn't happened yet. We have a really great signal here, and that's a shrinking of volatility here. which is showing us that we have some downward wedge formation, which veering the upward trend inside the upward trend would mean that prices are going to rise further. So about gas, I'm so sure that prices are going to rise further. $10, 10.50, maybe 11. Situation in Ukraine is going to get harsh, is going to get more bloody. We know this. European leaders know that. Even don't pay attention on Macron. Macron is just a politic, and most of them know. So sanctions are going to get worse, and nobody scares Russia for now, and not for now, but already, unfortunately. Or that's a good actually signal. But nobody actually doesn't even scares nuclear Russia, because we see how they are launching rockets, which are working one in twice, one in three times, which are not hitting uh, what they are targeting for. And we actually can see that that was a fucking big propaganda which made um, most of the world to live in some illusion, to live in some fantasy. Now Ukraine showed us that that's not right. That wasn't right. And that was a really big bubble which is going to burst, which is going to explode now. And this, there would be impacts. There would be different type of impacts, but I don't believe in any kind of versions of the, for example, winning on the Russian side, or winning of some European leaders are, which are pro-Russian, because situation is not going to let you be like that. That situation is not going to let anyone to kind of relax, or to kind of not to pay attention to what is going on, and that's the main factor why the situation with the energy crisis is going to continue, and it's going to get bad, and it's going to get harsher. So there's too many fundamental factors for gas to rise further. Let's see what's going on with the United States dollar to Canadian dollar, which is related to gas, which to oil, which is actually falling because of oil prices rising. As you know, United States dollar to Canadian dollar shows the opposite correlation to oil actually. So that's, this pair is actually the index between United States dollar and oil prices. We can actually say that because the opposite correlation, which is continuing, nobody's going to ditch, the United States dollar in the near future from oil market. This could happen, but in the time when Arabic countries or maybe some other countries are going to ditch dollar from the oil market, there would be new currencies, there would be new systems, and the rest of America is not going to be dependent on dollars. So you have to actually know that. So United States dollar, its correlations, opposite correlations, still being the market still works, and because of that, this pair is falling because oil prices rising. We have an opposite correlation. Prices of these pairs are falling. 125 have been kind of retested. It's going to maybe get retested in the near future. I think that prices in the near future are going to get a little bit shrink. So oil have some chances to make some downward impulses. And here we are going to reverse a little bit. So get ready for some reversal. Get ready for some consolidational movement. But 1.25, 1.2450 is a range after the retest of which prices are going to actually rise again. So there is a range as well. The main support 1.25, 1.2450, and after the retest of this range, most of the prices are going to return back to the main phase for some time, and this would be just consolidation. This would be just some consolidation, just some stop in downward trend, because oil prices doesn't really in a mood to stop rising, and it's not going to be in a mood to stop rising. There's no reasons for that. Maybe China could change the situation. Maybe China could within some month, within some weeks, just say that, oh my god, I have new COVID cases, I have to close these cities, those ports, those factories. I don't need your oil, sorry. So the prices are going to fall for some reason, for some time. Or as well, China could actually impact gas market by just by just opening gas reservoirs and just sell it and just make gas prices to fall. So here is the China factor, which could actually help oil prices to be regulated, to not to rise that much. So it could still mm, remain its own upward potential in midterm. Don't forget about it. Next comes commodity prices, defensive assets, as we say. Gold and silver are going to just fastly check the situation on gold. Uh, 1,800, 1,820, 1,860. For now, 1,820, 1,840 are the supports which are leading prices to rise. But unfortunately, in the case of stock market rising, the price of gold cannot rise. So stock market for now have some chances to make some impulsive upward movements. Anyway, this could happen within some days, within some sessions. That's a midterm prediction. And because of that, gold prices could really as well make some downward impulses. So to 1,820, 1,800, prices could actually fall as well. But next after that, they are going to return to this consolidational movement, as well as the prices of um, silver. So here we don't have any signal reversal, but prices are under really high pressure. So mostly 22, 15, 23 are the levels which could get retested, but I don't think that prices in the near future are going to rise anyway. Prices of commodities going to kind of fall, I think. 21.50, 21 are the next targets. And as I said, the situation which is going to continue in the near future with palladium and the platinum could be the same, but palladium is under some sanctions, so it could kind of rise better. Platinum is showing that 1,000 is retesting now. We had the breakthrough of 1,000 previously, and we told you that prices could actually rise to next levels, but not rise that much, because commodity prices, mainly generally, for now, for today, are not going to rise, because when stock market is bottoming, when stock market of the United States is kind of bottoming and finding some solutions to get out of this crisis, uh, gold is not going to rise. When stock market is bottoming, gold is not going to rise. So 1,000 have been retested, prices now are retesting it back, and they could actually go a little bit deeper. 980, 960 could be the levels after the retest of which prices maybe return to some consolidational phase and continue to moderately rise again. What's going on with, if I don't, yeah, palladium prices. Palladium prices retesting 2,000. It's not going to fall that much. 1,800, that's a really far target for sellers. I think that for now, prices already are getting ready to start the upward movement. 1,910, 1,900 are the levels which have been retested, and they are retesting now. They could get retested in the near future, but here impulsiveness could happen, and impulsiveness could return to the market. We have a really low impulse. We have a really moderate movement, and for now, for today, I can say that prices are getting ready, kind of getting ready to reverse. For palladium, situation would be more better, way better than for gold or silver or etc. The other kind of commodities. So let's see what's going to go with United States dollar to Japanese yen and to Swiss franc, which are as well related to gold and silver because they are defense assets. They are the risk assets. When something is going wrong with markets, gold rises not only, but Japanese yen and Swiss franc as well. And they're so manipulative. They are so speculative. From previous time, we had the retest of the mineral level and the psychological level of 130, if you remember. And we told you that prices first are going to retest this. They're going to stop here a little while. They're going to return back, but after that, they're going to rise further. That was the prediction from previous times. That was the prediction from 2 weeks ago. As I told you, the price is now retesting a psychological level 130. They are going to kind of retest it from upper side. Amplitude is going to get lower. Volatility is going to get shrink. Prices are going to even stuck under it and fall a little bit, but till the local supports of 126, 128. I said that 126, 128 are the levels after the retest of which prices are going to reverse and return to the main phase, because the main phase for United States dollar to Japanese yen is going to be upward in the near future. So now we're around 134 and there is 136, the next level which could get retested. So there is some chances for this potential of upward movement to continue, but we could observe the ending of this tendency of this upward trend after the retest of 135, 136. So pay attention on this. United States dollar to Swiss franc. Swiss franc showed us that is more powerful than Japanese yen as well as always, and made dollar to fall a little bit further. So as we told you, the Swiss franc is more powerful than Japanese yen. Fundamentally, it's more powerful, and this would make dollar prices to fall more, way more than they could fall against Japanese yen, for example. 0.95, 0.97 now retesting. I think that we are going to have some shrinking of volatility. We have some mirror level which are retesting, and I think that prices are going to reverse anyway. So there would be some consolidation now. There would be some speculative movements. Shrinking of volatility, that's not a really good sign. Nearby, near to local maximums, it would mean that prices are getting ready for some reversal. So this reversal will continue to 0.97, 0.9650, but after that, prices are going to return into main tendency, which is upward for United States dollar to Swiss franc as well. This tendency is going to be upward. At least this would be just start as a consolidational movement, then get moderately into the phase of an upward channel and continue to rise. So that's the main prediction about all of these assets and forex pairs. Now we're getting to the most interesting one, the Bitcoin prices and the Ethereum prices. From previous time, both of them were so badly hurt because of some predictions, because of some reasons which made prices and which had to make prices to fall a little bit. So Bitcoin prices actually fell down to 27,000, we say 25, okay, 27.25, which are the target levels of Bitcoin, and prices have been they have been fell to 25,000 actually, 25, 27. It's not important. We actually told you that 27 is a level that we have to get retested from previous time, and we told that 25 as well. But there is some predictions that way horror, way scarier. They're about Bitcoin prices downward movement to 15,000, 17,000, and as you know, this is something that really could happen with prices, especially due to this consolidational movement which is now happening. So for near future, in the nearest future, because of this stop in the downward movement, we have some chances for bulls to speculate and make markets to get confused. So don't forget that in the nearest sessions, the nearest days, price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, both of them, could make some impulsive upward movements. They could make it, and this would be the start of the next downward impulse, which could make prices to go further to 20,000 or maybe 15,000. So not for now. I don't believe in the signal. Maybe this would be the signal of some short time downward corrective movement to 28 or 29, I don't know. But in the midterm, you're going to have some bearish speculation, bullish speculation first, and then the continuation of the bearish market. Ethereum. So here Ethereum is as well showing us that consolidation is continuing. We had the retest of 1,800. We didn't yet retest 1,600. We thought that prices are going to retest 1,800. 1,600, 1,400. Both of them are going to get retested, but not for now. In the nearest future, prices of Ethereum pairs of Bitcoin are showing that they are not going to fall. They are going to speculatively rise, make you confused. Maybe it could even rise to 2,400, 2,600. That's really realistic for them to do something like that. Maybe Ethereum would be less speculative than Bitcoin. So, but after that, prices are going to return to the main bearish phase. Thank you guys for watching this video. I wish you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you would know what kind of programs you're going to have. And don't forget to check our official website of GerchikCo.com. There you can actually find different type of packages for traders which we made for you with great sell-offs, in each of which you can actually find different type of instruments for trading, different type of courses for beginners and for experts as well. Take care of yourself. Until next time, have good tradings. Bye bye.